I have an amazing story to share about a young boy who's named Tzvi Elimelech. He was a 10-year-old boy back in the late 1700s. And his father was an educator. And like many others in those times, he would travel, leave his family for about 6 months a year, where he would be teaching and educating people. And then he would go home and provide support for his family for the year. So during one such trip, he was staying at a motel, and it was a terrible snowstorm that rocked the town. And there were three paupers that were knocking on the door. Please let us in, let us in, let us in. And the innkeeper said, unless you're going to pay, there's no way. He said, please, we're freezing. Please let us in. He said, no, it's either my way or the highway. You're not coming in. And Tzvi Elimelech's father, this educator, said, please let them in. They're starving. They're freezing. It's snowing out there. He said, look, if you want to pay for them, that's fine. This is not a charity. She said, okay, fine. I'll pay for them. Please let them in. So he let them in. And the problem was the storm was such a strong storm. It lasted for several days. And by the time they were able to clear the snow out and get the motel door open, it was basically 2 weeks' time, which amounted to a massive sum of money. The bill came to 54 rubles, which today, even 54 million rubles are probably not worth much. So 54 rubles is nothing. But back then, in the 1700s, 54 rubles was quite a bit of money. It was actually more money than this educator earned for the entire 6 months. It was basically a whole year, more than a whole year's salary he just lost. But he made a commitment, he paid it, and he went home empty-handed. And he's getting closer to his home. He was worried what's going to be. He knew his family, it was Erev Yom, it was right before Passover. He knew his family had probably just purchased new suits on credit and new shoes on credit and food for the holiday on credit, all expecting him to come home with 6 months worth of earnings, and it would have to all be returned. So he wasn't ready to face his family yet. So he went to the Beis Medrash, went to the Jewish study hall just to find some inspiration and prepare himself. And while he was there, his son, Tzvi Elimelech, was sent out by his mother to go find his father. He should have been back by now. And he went looking, he didn't see him. So he figured, let me check the Beis Medrash, check the Jewish study hall. And sure enough, he finds his father. And reluctantly, he goes with his son, and the two of them walk home together. And again, he's not sure what's he going to say to his wife, what's going to be, what's going to happen to the family. And while they're walking, a coachman zips by them. He's got this massive, fancy coach with horses, very fancy. And as it speeds by, a small package falls off the back of the wagon. And they go running after him. Coachman, wait, this package. They tried to get his attention, tried to stop him, but he didn't see them, just kept going, he's gone. They went to inspect the package, look for a siman, some sort of sign to show who owns it, contact information, nothing there. So from a Jewish legal perspective, it's considered hefker, it's considered ownerless. And they opened it up to see what was inside, and they found exactly 54 rubles. The father and son then made their way home, this time with brighter smiles. And that night was Passover and was the Seder. And they went through the Seder and all the different motions and activities that happened at the Seder. And they got up to the point where the cup is poured for Eliyahu Hanavi, who visits each and every Seder every year, aside from each and every bris throughout the year. And the Tzvi Elimelech was assigned to head to the door to open up the door for Eliyahu. When he opened up the door, his face lit up and a huge smile enveloped him. And he said, Abba, the coachman is here at our door. Hashem loves us so much. He takes care of us every single minute of every single day. Sometimes we don't get to see it, and we don't always get to see exactly how that love is manifested. But he's there, even during the exodus from Egypt and the splitting of the sea. We think, wow, that's amazing. So you think, okay, we'd happily walk through mud and rocks and, just to get through and get out. But no, God made it a smooth path. He put fruit available for eating while we're walking through, beautiful flowers to look at. He goes the extra mile to give us comfort. Even something like food in general. We need food to live. And even if food had no taste, we would still eat it in order to live. But Hashem loves us so much that he gave food taste so we could enjoy the very thing we need to live anyway. And even when unpleasant things happen, if you look closely, often you'll see how God lessened the blow. He does things to make it a little bit more tolerable, to make it a little easier to get through, whether it's providing a friend, providing a little extra support. But if we watch, we'll see that God's loving hands are always wrapped around us. As we say farewell to Passover and we experience our own personal freedom and say thanks for the freedom that God has given us, I want to give us all a blessing. That number one, that we're able to be more thankful and grateful for all the gifts that we have in our lives. And number two, that God should make it even easier for us to see these amazing, beautiful gifts right in front of us.